Hey, Tara here, and it's been a really long time since we've connected, and I just wanted to take a moment and just apologize for the small delay. I'm coming to you from my home office, but I have my 2-year-old that's home here with me today, and you know how it is when it comes to like having lunch and child time and trying to get everything going so that you can work again, because if you're a stay-at-home, work-at-home mom, or you work part-time, or you do some of your business or work from home, you totally understand what I'm talking about with needing to take pauses and breaks. Hey Jenny, nice to see you. And so I'm running a little behind, and I thought that my Facebook Live would pop up, so I apologize for not being prompt and timely today. However, I just had that small glitch with my internet and wasn't able to connect as soon as maybe I would have liked. Hey Salome, hey Angie, nice to see you. And so I just want to say, first things first, it's really good to be back here live with you guys. And I took a little bit of a rest and a hiatus, which is kind of based on what our topic for today is, which is building belief in yourself. And I'm not going to take too much time doing this. This can apply to any area of your life. And so I just wanted to bring this topic up to you in my home office after a several month rest. Those of you that were patient and hung in there with me, I just want to say thank you. Here's the deal, you guys. I was just feeling a little bit, because I feel like a little bit of vulnerability on social media is a really good thing. And I'm not afraid to admit to you, because I'm very real. And for those of you that are just now joining for the first time or going to be, welcome. We are going to go back to having Facebook Lives on a weekly basis. It is going to be probably about twice a week at this point. If I see something that I want to discuss with you further and I want to join in, I might increase that number of Facebook Lives that we're going to be having. But for right now, I think that this is a really good start. We may do some things with Instagram. I started doing that a while back, Facebook and Instagram both, but just found that this was going to be a little bit more beneficial, just sticking with Facebook Live. That seems to be where the platform is. I may increase that and grow Instagram even more as well. At any rate, hey Happy, my husband joined in for just a second. Anyway, sorry, he kind of sidetracked me for a minute, because I'm like, whoa, I'm not used to seeing him on there, so, or not at this time of day. Anyway, so first things first, so the topic of building belief in yourself. The thing is, I had stepped away for a few months ago, after feeling like I had a little bit of a disconnect. And when I say that I had a little bit of a disconnect, it wasn't a horrible thing. I just wasn't making connections with people the way that I really wanted to be connecting with people live. And that was really affecting how I had relationships with my family and how I spent time by myself, how my connections were and relationships were in my business. And I just didn't feel like I was where I needed or wanted to be in business at that moment. And so I thought, you know, gosh, I should really take a step back. I actually prayed about my decision at first, and then I ended up connecting with a really close mentor of mine, and I said, hey, you know, what's the deal? I'm just feeling kind of disconnected in some different areas in my relationships particularly, and I'm just feeling a little burnt out, and I need kind of a timeout, I feel like. And she actually really encouraged that. She encouraged me to take that time out, to go just be by myself and use that time to refocus. And what I really wanted to do was to go back and take a look at the foundation, the structure of how I was doing things. And I really wanted to take some time off to pray and see, because I am somebody that prays. I wanted to see what was going on with my belief. Where was my heart at? Where was my focus when I took time to connect with people? And was I really serving people? Was I really doing my due diligence? And I really didn't feel, sorry, my phone is blowing up at the moment. I really didn't feel like I was connecting with people the way that I had wanted to. And that really, really bothered me, because I felt like I was doing a disservice. And so really what I learned the most out of this time of just resting, and I just took time like to take a nap. I've got some really exciting news coming up in the near future. So the biggest thing for me that I really wanted to receive out of this time of rest was not just restoration, how I connected in my relationships, but I also wanted to look at strategy. I wanted to look at what is it that people were looking for and what they needed, and how could I better connect with people when I did connect? And was my focus on connecting with that person, or was my focus on what was going on in my own life? And sometimes it's really important when we're looking at building belief in ourselves to go back to the foundation and see, okay, maybe it's not something necessarily that we're doing wrong, but it's something that we need a tweak, or we need to maybe think about doing differently. Or maybe it's just that there's something missing. Like for me, I felt like more like something was missing. Or it could just be a matter of strategy, and that you're shifting in your life in the direction that you're going. And so it's time to kind of maybe rethink some things in the way that you conduct your schedule and your daily life really as a whole. And so that's what this was about. And it was about building my belief back in myself so that I could give and serve other people with new strategy, with tweaking, with some things that I felt like were missing that I really wanted to just search out. I wanted to make sure that I was giving my best to you guys and what you were really looking for. And I really wanted to be intentional and purposeful in my connection, which I talked about doing, but I still didn't feel like I was all the way there. So I needed to kind of just step back so I can move forward again. And sometimes when we think, oh, well, we're moving backwards, well, we're not necessarily moving backwards. Sometimes we need to take a step back because it's actually us moving forward. We're able to be entrusted, right? You know, we're ready for new territory. And maybe that's something that many of you have, you know, considered, you've prayed about, you've thought about, you know, and you're just looking at, where do I go from here with this, you know? And so the first things first, when you're looking at building your belief in yourself, you have to go to the foundation. You have to check to see, is my belief built on a solid foundation? Do I believe in myself? Do I believe in a vision? Do I even have a vision? Because sometimes we originally had a vision, then we lost our vision, and then we regained our vision again eventually. But it may take a minute. You know, we may need a reminder of what that looks like. Maybe we haven't checked out and seen what does vision look like. So that's something that if you haven't done that in a while, I really encourage you to just go back and say, okay, what is my vision? What is my purpose? What is my why? Why do I get up every morning? You know, why do I show up? What is it that I really want to achieve and accomplish with my day? Am I reaching that? Is my expectation realistic enough, or is it a little unrealistic? Do we need to revisit the way that our expectation of ourselves and others is? You know, have we connected with people? Do we know, you know, what they need? Okay, these are all a part of going back to that foundation. The first part of that foundation is building and establishing that vision. You know, where do you see yourself at right now? And where do you see yourself in the next year or two, or even 5 years from now, or even 10 years from now? What are you looking at? You know, where are you going? Are you headed in a positive, moving forward direction? And if you're not, then maybe the second question to building belief is asking yourself, okay, well, what is inhibiting me? What is getting in my way from taking that next step and going to that next level? And how can I change that? You know, what do I need to do? What is it that I'm stuck on? Is there something else that I need to be doing that I'm not currently yet implementing? Maybe I'm not yet in awareness of. Hey, Sherry, you know, what is it that what we're looking at? You know, where's our heart really? Because really, you can have vision, okay, but if you don't have your heart in your vision, then it's not something that you're passionate about. And then you have to ask yourself, well, what is this all for? And why am I really doing this? And then your heart's not completely in it, so you're not going to give it your all. You're not going to give it your absolute best, which you really want to be able to do, right? You want to be able to give people your best shot. When you're meeting with them, when you're connecting with them, you want them to identify and relate with your heart. And you want to show them a better way. You want to show them something different. People are looking for people to follow, and they're looking for people that they can relate to, that they can identify with. And so you want to first identify with your own vision and your own belief in order to get to that next level, right? And so it's not just about you, it's about the people that you're meant to impact, the people that you're meant to serve, the people that are your tribe, that you're meant to really, when I say tribe, I mean like, you heard the saying, birds of a feather flock together. I heard several mentors say that to me over, the span of being in business for myself for over 10 years now. And it's really true though. You really flock with a certain tribe of people, and don't be offended if as you grow, people come and go in your tribe as you grow and as you evolve and change. Some people will stay with you. Some people will be with you for a season. Some people will, come and go, but don't worry about that. Just stick with your tribe, stick with the people that you're meant to be with, and allow your belief to continue to build, because you've got something really huge to offer others, and they're waiting for you to bring that value to them. So you have to identify with your vision first in order for others to identify with you and your vision, right? Because when your heart is there, other people will see your heart and will be like, wow, I love the direction that person is going, and I really want to be a part of that. Right? And so that's a huge part of belief in self, because too, when you see people, that are attracted to you and they want to learn and they want to glean from you, that makes you feel really good, right? Because then you start to really see, wow, what I believe in and how I'm serving other people is going to not only attract them, but it's going to allow me to better connect with them. And that makes you feel really good because you're doing people a service. You're really taking time out to believe in them and encourage them and build them up, because you know what, you guys, you can't do this alone. You're meant to really do this as a team. You think believing yourself means you, right? Like you do everything yourself, you have to learn all these things on your own, but really it's not like that at all. It's about having a team of people who encourages you and believes in you and builds you up along the way, and these are people that that you trust, that you value their time, and as they model things to you, you can take that and you can model that to the people that you're supposed to connect with, right? We're supposed to pass the torch and move forward, and as we encourage and build others up, our belief in ourselves will increase. And so if you are somebody that like deals with mind chatter, or you have and this is another really good point, if you're somebody that, like, when I say mind chatter, like you, it's not just belief in yourself, but you struggle with other areas. Like maybe you get anxious, or maybe you get depressed, or you believe in yourself for a certain period of time and then you get off track, or you're just not quite confident or have that level of self-esteem that you really want. Because let's face it, as you grow and blossom, you're stepping out in faith, and that can be scary territory because you don't always know where you're going, what that looks like. Yes, you may have an idea where you're going, but sometimes you have to step out in faith, not knowing what that next step exactly looks like in that moment. You have an idea what your vision is, you're going for it. So you're focused and you're dedicated, but in terms of how you perceive yourself, you may have that moment where you're like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I'm doing this. Am I really doing this? Am I really doing this? Right? And so then you might try to step back. Don't allow yourself to be pulled back. But in that moment, I encourage you to ask yourself, why is it that I'm pulling back right in this moment? And how can I tweak that? And how can I change that? And how can I be the best version of me? Not just for myself, but for other people. And so sometimes that may mean not just taking maybe a rest to get strategy or downloads. That happened to be where I felt led to go. But in that time, I did other things too. Like I plugged into personal development, self-development tools. So for me personally, and it's different for everybody, but like I found something that I wanted to read, for example, that would encourage and build my belief, and not just in myself, but what I was doing as a businesswoman. So I had several different materials that I was reading from at the same time, that I would read both. I would just make some time in my schedule to really use it as a time to strategize. So I could listen to something, which I often did. Sometimes it was like more than one something a day that I watched and I read. And when I needed to, and I felt like I needed to pick somebody's brain, like let's say they had knowledge or experience in the area that I was looking at, okay? Maybe instead I went to them, and I said, okay, you have experience in this area, and obviously I don't have experience in that area. So what can you show me or teach me about this specific area? For some of you may need to even hire like a coach or a mentor of sorts. And that's something that I actually chose to do. So since, I'm trying to remember now, I want to say like right around March, April, May, like right around that time frame, I actually hired on a coach. I know it seems like time has just really blown by. We're already in October here and I can't even believe it. Anyway, and so time is really moving quickly. But I wanted to learn more, for example, in my life, I wanted to learn more about coaching. That's something that I always wanted to do. And I've started it a few times, but I really needed to be able to market that, to promote that, to share that vision with other people, and to really identify and connect on a whole different level. So I hired a coach to help teach me how to do those things, right? So every week, even though I was in my season of rest, her and I would have a call, oftentimes with several other people on the line that were also looking for the same service, and that wanted to increase and enrich their lives in these areas. And we would get together and we would have a coaching session, right? So I'm still plugging in and gleaning. And let me tell you something, coaching and mentorship and asking for help really is not a bad thing. Actually, it's a really excellent start because you really want to focus on, okay, here's where I'm at, here's where I'm going, here's what I want to learn, here's the direction, and they can show you based on where you're at how to glean and grow and get to that next step confidently. And if there are things that you need to add or implement, there were things that she was telling me, I was like, wow, I never thought about that. And it wasn't so much that I was doing things wrong. I just needed more perspective. I needed more ideas. I needed to be increased a little bit more, which is what her coaching allowed me to do, which also increased my confidence and my self-esteem in myself, and allowed me to, in that time, even though I wasn't doing a bunch of social media things, allowed me to be a more confident mom, for example, and a wife, and to still come up with strategy and tools and resources that I could implement for when I came back. And just because I took a rest did not mean that I didn't think about you guys. Didn't mean that I wasn't sitting there planning stuff, because I was, right? I was really thinking through, when I come back, what do I want this to look like as a part of that vision? I've got belief and vision back in myself, but where am I going with this? Where is this leading me to? And so it's a huge discovery process. And as you build belief in yourself, you'll see that you may shift or change directions. You may learn some new things. You may get some new takeaways. You may go in a different direction than what you originally thought, but just allow the process to unfold and allow yourself to increase in your belief. Allow yourself to have vision. Allow yourself mercy and grace, because it's a learning curve and it's a process, but it can be super rewarding, and people will see your heart. You'll begin to attract, and it may not happen right away. I don't expect for everybody in the universe to follow me, right this minute. It's okay. And I don't even expect everybody to follow me. I really want the people that identify with my message. Those are the people I really am looking forward to connecting with, I'd rather be small and mighty than huge and not know my tribe, So that intimacy and that connection, that relationship with people is so key to the belief and the continued growing and building of that belief and of that mindset. Anybody anyway, I hope that this helped you in some sort of way. I am going to post ways to be in touch and contact with me that, you can just reach out, and if you have a question or you want to just connect more, you're feeling stuck in an area, maybe something here, maybe something that you identified with that you want to just grow and learn from, or you just want to share your thoughts, you just want to connect one-on-one. I totally want to do that with you, and I just want to encourage you that I believe in you. I believe in your success. It takes a lot as you're learning new skills. It's not easy to go through all these things and to learn something new and to maybe tweak your vision and your belief a little bit. Sometimes we have to change our way of thinking on things, and it's not an easy feat, so I definitely just want to encourage you, if I can pray with you, or whatever you need. I just want to show my support, and I just want to be there with you, and I want to make that connection known. So definitely I'll be leaving some information in the comment section so that you can connect with me. It may not be right away. Give me a few minutes, you guys. I actually need to do a couple things with my daughter first before I can come back to that. But just be staying in tune with that and look for that. I will post it. I'll make sure to do that probably within the next 30 minutes to an hour or so. So just be expecting that from me. Anyway, it's been a pleasure and an honor to connect with you. I'm so glad to be back. I'm really excited about it, and I'm really excited about bringing you some new content. By the way, really quick, come Thursday, I'm going to try to keep these Facebook Lives somewhere in the neighborhood of like 12:50, 1 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. I don't know if that's a good connecting time for most of you, but there's always a replay if you can't get there. If some of you are wanting a certain time, can you do me a favor and post that feedback in the comment section? And then that way I know that, hey, we need to tweak this, because my goal is to connect live with you. I'd love for this to be even more like interactive and engaging. Eventually, I want us to be able to learn from each other. That is something that I wanted to change about the way that I did Facebook Lives. So yeah, please let me know, and we can do that too. So I'm open to your feedback, and I definitely want to hear from you. Anyway, have a great rest of your day. Be blessed, and stay tuned for Thursday. See you then. Have a great rest of your day. Bye-bye for now.